Hello, everyone. I'm Empress LJ on Divinely Guided Heart Network if you're on IG, and Divinely Guided Heart, simply that, if you're on YouTube. And I'm here because I just wanted to go over some things with y'all that I feel it's kind of a question that, or it's kind of a topic, or I wouldn't say an issue, but it's something that troubles y'all or may keep you guys guessing or wondering. And I'm not saying everyone, but there are a few. Not only do I read them in my comments, but I also see them in other comments too of other readers that I see. And at one time, I even felt like this, and I was just like, until I grew in my knowledge and my spirituality, and I started to understand. And I'm like, oh, okay. And once you do that, you begin to adjust things, and you get the picture after a while. So, um, one of the things that we can bring up is like when you hear something so many times, right? To the point to where you start to believe like it's not happening or it isn't going to happen. Look how long it's been since it hasn't happened. So I've been hearing that all my life, or I've been hearing that for so long, type of deal, right? Well, I get it. Because at one point I was saying the same thing. Like, I've been hearing that, I've been hearing that. So it's easy for you to get discouraged or for you to just mock at it as if it's not true or it's not real. The thing about it is that the reason why you hear something for so long, especially when it comes or pertains to spirituality, is because you haven't passed the test, if you want to call it a test, or you haven't got the lesson. Okay, or you haven't started going on the path that you need to go in order to allow those gates or that timeline shift to happen. It's kind of like if you know the man who had a hole and he was digging and digging and he didn't find gold, and he ended up selling it, and the person who bought it from him dug just a little bit more than what the guy did and struck gold. Now, if that guy would have stayed at it, he would have got the gold eventually, and he would never have to sell his hole. But since he was impatient and he didn't have faith, he ended up selling his hole, his cave, whichever you want to call it. And the guy that he bought it, who we sold it to, ended up striking gold, and now he's a millionaire. He's rich, billionaire, or whatever you want to call it, and he has all the gold now. Like, you have to understand that things, if you're not persistent with it, it don't add up. And that's what pretty much anything in life, if you don't put the necessary energy to it with the necessary intentions, it won't show up for you. Okay, so a lot of times it's divine timing. It's just not the time. The universe, the Most High, whichever God you want to pray to, and your spiritual team and your ancestors, they're watching you. Okay, they're watching you. They're watching how you move. They're watching the habits that you take. They're watching how you're handling yourself. They're watching how you care about yourself and how you care about other people. They are watching you. So if they feel that you're not ready for something, they won't bring it into your life. And a lot of times they do bring it into your life, and then you don't even realize it. So you lose it and think that it didn't happen when it actually did. There's moments when you think that, oh, it's not happening, and it very well could happen, but you just didn't hold on enough, or you just didn't keep faith enough in order for it to happen, because you want it to be on your time, and it's not your time. Now, we have moments where we have to take the action, the necessary action, in order to get the momentum going for things to flow for us, right? But most of the time, after, if you haven't did the necessary action for that motion, the the team, spiritual team, any of them, they're not going to do anything for you. You won't even take the time for yourself, so they're not going to do anything for you. They're going to sit there. They want to help. They do. That's what they're here for. They want to help. But if you're not going to take the time and the steps that you need to take in order for them to, carry it along afterwards, if they never received the stick or whatever it is for you to pass it on to them, they never received it, how can they grab it and run? How can it be your anchor? So divine timing is a lot in these things where they're not going to move for you if you're not moving for yourself. And that falls into another little key bit that I have, that the actions and the frequencies, they don't match up. If you're constantly saying you don't want something, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, the universe continue to bring what you don't want, because that's what you're focusing on, and that's what you're continuously verbating out of your mouth. So by you continuously saying that, it's going to feel as if that's what you want, what you don't want, instead of focusing on what you do want, instead of focusing on the positivity that can bring in what you do want. I know you might think that, oh, it's just saying it. No, it's not saying it. Words are spells. So by words being spells, you're casting something positive on your life that you want. But if you don't use the right words, you are also casting negativity on your life that you do not want. You can say you don't want it, but the more you talk about it means that you do want it. Like how a person like, I don't like him, but she really do like him, or he really do like her. He's just trying to play it off in front. That's how the universe reads it. They don't know any I'm just kidding or sarcasm. It's this is what you want or this is what you don't want. If you don't want it, you're not going to spend time on it. You're not going to blink at it. If there's somebody in your vicinity that you don't care for, a person, and you don't want to give them time to date, I bet you ignore them. Then that's how you need to do with the things that you don't want. If you don't want drama, ignore drama stuff. And that means ignoring the shows, ignoring people who are dramatic for no damn reason, ignoring gossip and all the other things that can create drama. You ignore that stuff if you don't want it. The more you ignore it, the more the universe won't put it into your path. I don't want to be around people who don't care about me. If you don't want that, then you stop being around the people who don't care about you. You stop being around people who are superficial. You stop being around people who are the ones that don't want to show up for you, and you stop getting those people. The universe gets it, and so it stops putting those people in your life. At the same time, if your frequency is not right, you won't align with that timeline. The timeline that you're on that has that specific life that you want. You're only going to line up to the frequency that you are portraying. If you're not on that frequency, you're not on that timeline. And that's when you need to change how you think about yourself, because that vibration of how you think about yourself is keeping you in a place that you don't want to be. If you're constantly down on yourself, you're going to stay down. If you're constantly talking good about yourself, though, if you're constantly congratulating yourself and boosting yourself up and giving yourself the necessary patience that you need in order to grow, then you're going to grow. You're going to get better. You're going to feel better about yourself. So it has to be a frequency that allows you to rise to whatever level or whatever timeline you want to be on. Okay. And playing those who have the ability, or who were chosen, we're all chosen. We're all considered, or we all can be chosen. Okay. But being chosen, the ones that accept the challenge. Those who have the ability to accept a challenge and they don't. Those who understand that they do have the ability to accept their challenge and they don't. Being that they don't follow what they need to follow. They don't live the life that they need to live in order to get there. They don't make the necessary sacrifices that they need to make in order to get there. So because you want to play stubborn, they're going to play stubborn. All the things that you want in your life, all the protection that you get for being faithful to yourself and following how you need to follow and keeping that connection with the divine, for being the person that you need to be authentically and genuinely. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be stubborn, or if you want to sit up there and play blind to who you need to be and who you are, then the universe is going to do the same thing too, because hey, that's what you're showing me, that's what you are. Hey, you have to step into the person that you need to be. If you want that life, if you want to pursue certain things, you have to step into who you need to be in order to obtain those specific things. you won't if you don't. It's simple as that. So going on people saying that they heard stuff all their life about people, the wrong people in your life, or somebody needing to for instance, you have somebody coming into your life like love, all right, and they're like, well, this person didn't get their act together, so they're being cut off. You have somebody coming in, but they're not there yet. You get what I'm saying, right? When you hear readings like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that the person's coming in that day. And if you've been hearing this for a long time and nothing has happened, that's when you got to take a step back and see what it is that you have done in order for this to happen. Okay, what I mean by this, because I know a lot of people are getting confused. When you listen to readings and they say if it doesn't resonate, don't make it stick, this is what they mean. Because if you try to make things stick, if you try to feel like, oh, this is me, and you make that work, you're going to be disappointing yourself when things don't pop up the way they're supposed to pop up for you. If it's not your reading, it's not going to show up for you. Now, mind you, you can take certain areas of a reading and just take that. You're the one that knows, especially if it's a general reading, you're the one that knows what's going on with your life and what connects. This is not based off of how you feel it should be. Okay, this is based on actual facts and the energetic flow of what's going on in your life. If you're not being positive about the person that you want in your life, then that's not going to show up. And another thing, you have to put in a little bit of action. If you're not going out to meet those people, or if you're not, making yourself known in order to meet that person, I mean, you have enough energy to push whatever it is that you want in the direction that you need, especially if it's with strong intention and you truly from your heart believe that is what it is. If there's doubt in there, then what are we doing? If you're feeling someone and you want them to be noticed, and you hear them and you go to these readings and you say, yeah, they've been watching you and da 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 da. If you're doing something that has people watching you, then okay, the reading is for you. If you have not done anything yet, the reading is not for you. Okay? It is about the action. So sometimes, as I said in my readings, in my daily energy readings, sometimes it doesn't necessarily mean the immediate future or present future. I mean, the immediate present, okay? Sometimes it means a little bit out, all right? So think about you deciding to get an idea on creating something, whether it's a book, whether it's a podcast, whether it's, content or whatnot, and you start doing it, okay? And it's eye-catching. At that moment, it could be 3 months from you had listening to that reading. 3 months down the road, you started doing something. It started getting momentum. That is when that person is going to come in and start seeing those things and you catch their eye or whatnot, and then things start to pick up and play. If you stay with consistency, then they're definitely going to come into your presence. If you've never created anything and you don't have a way for somebody to look at you, if you don't have a way for somebody to see you, then the reading is not for you. And then you're going to be looking at it like, dang, this is not true. I heard this. No, it doesn't work that way, love. It does not work that way. If you don't take that necessary, step to push the momentum of it, things don't just happen out of thin air. When we say that the universe is working with you, you're working with the universe to co-create your life of how you want it to be seen. And we 1444 on the clock, and we want to see how it's going. Like, we're telling you that that energy you put into it, which could be you actually picking up an item and making it into something where people want to buy or whatnot, that energy is going to give you the momentum to push forward. And then all those eyes and everything that were said was going to be on you, that's what they're talking about. It may not be at that moment when you're reading or when you're listening to the reading. It may not be before you listen to the reading, your life of how it is. We don't always talk about how your life is at the moment. These readings are typically of what your life is going to be. We can sense the energy that you're in, maybe at that moment, and how it's changing and shifting. But that's just general, unless we personally know you. If we're not personally sitting down with you, receiving your specific energy, it can go any way. And that's why it depends. And a lot of readers say that you know your life. So if it doesn't resonate, don't stick. Don't make it stay. Because now you become in a little world and you're sitting on this theory or this notion that you felt like you got from us. And you didn't. You created this, and then you're gonna be disappointing yourself the whole time, just waiting for things to happen when it wasn't for you in the first place, and you could have bypassed that and been on another path or whatnot. Everything is based off of the decisions that we make, and from that decision that we make sends energy to whatever is waiting for us in that decision, on that path. If we go left, whatever is on the left path will be activated from that energy that we picked, and vice versa for the right path. Okay, so be really careful on how you listen to these readings, because a lot of times people get confused. And I know when I listen to readers, well, at least the ones I listen to, they really try to like make sure that you understand. If it's not for you, do not receive it, do not accept it. Okay, when you hear things like the spiritual is proud of you and you're doing a good job, if you don't understand that, it's basically meaning that your spiritual team is really happy for you, right? But the thing is that you're going to feel a certain energy, okay? You're going to feel a certain energy that lets you know they're happy. You're going to feel light energy. You're going to feel proud. Sometimes you feel like it's out of nowhere. You just feel proud. You feel good. You feel excited. Like all of a sudden you just get a rush and you're just giddy and giddy. That is energy you're receiving from your spiritual team, your ancestors. That's letting you know that they're happy around you. If you tap in and don't fight what it is that what you are or who you are, then you're going to hear it. Okay, a lot of times I hear laughter, I hear cheers, that's letting me know they're happy. Me laughing all the time out of nowhere with myself, that's letting me know they're laughing with me, they're happy, they're cheering, they're smiling. Okay, seeing angel numbers consistently, that's letting you know that your team is communicating with you. And when you see those numbers, put it in and see what they mean, because they're going to let you know you're proud, you've done a good job, or you're working hard, and then it confirms, oh, okay, so they are feeling proud of me, they are being good, they are happy that I'm being good, or I'm doing what I need to do. When you see different movement through the universe, right? If you at one point didn't really have interaction with nature, but all of a sudden nature wants to get close to you, wants to connect to you, that means your vibration has heightened, okay, from what it was. And in order for your vibration to heighten like it needs to, you're doing something, right? You're doing something positive. You're doing something in a sense of, hey, I'm heading in the right direction. I am working on me. I'm picking, my energy field up. They're proud of you. So you're going to feel it. Okay. Nature is going to always let you know if something is good or not. You just have to pay attention. All right. The reason why I did this is because I really wanted, I love reading, okay? It's something that I found out I was naturally good at. And I found out that I was supposed to do it because I had received my first deck of cards from my Reiki teacher, which was also my hypnotherapist. And I was in a session with her and I had received my first deck of cards from her. And we were talking. I can't remember how it came about, but for whatever reason, she felt like, okay, you can use like these cards are for you. Like I feel like you can use them and whatnot. And for a while I just had them. I played with them a little bit just to see what they were, and I didn't do much with it, right? But then I kept getting drawn to it, and then eventually I began looking at readings and getting more into readings. And this was all in the beginning stages of me like really tapping into Gaia and really tapping into spirituality and putting together the different things that I saw that or I gravitated to that made me feel like, hey, why does this feel so familiar? Why does this feel like something that I know? To the point to where I finally knew, and I was doing it a little bit, but my spiritual team kept throwing it in my face, saying as if I need to be doing it on a regular basis, you know. And then I began my first filming. I have, if you go back in my videos, you'll see where I was doing astrology and doing all the signs at different points in time. Then I took a break on it, and I had some growing to do and some healing to do, and then I had to step back into it because I was getting yelled at, like, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that. And it was basically something that, when I say get yelled at, it's when it's continuously repeated to you. Everything you do, the same phrase or similar topics keep coming up. That means that's your team. That's kind of like your team yelling at you like, hey, wake up, hello, wake up, you know. And I kept getting that. I was just like, you know what, okay, because I had every excuse of what to do, of I'm gonna do it, but never just like doing it like I needed to do it. So when you have things like that, that's them talking to you and trying to connect with you so you can do whatever it is that they're saying. So be attentive, listen to what they're saying, follow those angel numbers, research them though. Okay, I know you like to see the 444, the 333, or you know, the 1234, but look them up to make sure that you know what they're saying. Okay, every time you read something over and over again, you'll get a different type of POV of it. So you might be like, oh, I already know what that said. Read it again, because then it's going to probably be another word that sticks out, or another phrase, or another sentence that will pertain to what you need to know at that moment. Okay. That's all I have for now. I didn't want this to run out too long. I just wanted to kind of touch bases on that and hope this really helps some people who have, you know, been listening to readings their whole lives and just trying to understand, like, okay, well, I've heard this over and over again. Why isn't it happening? Simply, either the energy is not right for whoever it is, because you got to understand, when it comes to those relationship ones and they're like your divine counterpart is on his way, they're people too, and just like you mess up, they mess up too. They make the wrong decisions too sometimes, especially if they're not listening, or especially if they have other people in their way. So they have to go through on their path, just like you have to go on your path and determine what it is that you need to do. They got to do it as well. And this 22:33 on the clock, they got to do it as well. Okay. And they got to figure it out. If they don't figure it out, then they're going to be in their whole limbo. Okay, because how can they get to you if they don't make the right decisions to get to you? You know what I'm saying? If you're going on path 1 and their path 2 leads to your path 1, right? How can they get to you if they never went down their path 2 in the first place? What if they went down their path 1? So they're not even coming anywhere to you. And here you are going down the path that you're supposed to go to, but they're not going down that path. So now you miss the intersections that y'all paths meet, and they were never there. Right? Even if they had started behind you, if that path goes into one, y'all gonna meet at some point down that road, right? But because they never took that direction, you're not gonna meet at all unless it curves around the directions they went, and it curves around and ends up running into your path again. And that's how you have to look at it. And so that's why sometimes it feels like you've been hearing something like all your life and it hasn't came through. It's not just you. It's not just energy that they gotta work out for you. They gotta work out energy for that other person too. So it just depends on decisions that are being made. And by you being open-minded, you allow yourself to receive exactly what you want, but probably in a different package. What you thought you needed, you probably going to get in a different package than what you was expecting, because you thought you needed it in that package, but your team knew that you would probably prefer it better in this package, and it'll be there for the long run, the long haul, instead of a short satisfaction to where you got to redo everything all over again. Okay, so again, I don't want to hold you that much longer, but I just wanted to, I felt like it kept playing, flashing. So I was like, okay, I get it. I'm going to make a message. So I did so. If you want another video like this, I probably could jazz it up for you too anyway, but I'm not tripping. A message is a message. You get it, you get it. You feel me? But if you want to know a little bit more, if you want me to make a video that, goes a little bit more or have some specifics, let me know. Put in the comments. I can do so. I can put it together. I really like bringing information to people in the first place, because knowledge is power, and I've learned a long time ago, the more you equip yourself with information, the better you'll be, okay? And I really like helping people. I really want to make sure everyone is understanding of things, especially when it comes to the spiritual world, because it's so massive. It's such a massive space that a lot of people can get lost in it, okay? Because we have a lot of people that can also misdirect, because they're not even on the right type of flow to understand it themselves. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware if you're curious about something or something just wasn't clear. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and tell me what you think in the comments. Let me know. Also, you watch it, like it. Share it too if you know somebody who's having issues or struggling with spirituality or struggling with understanding readings, who might take it a little too literal sometimes, especially if it's not personally directed to them. Send this to them so they can know, oh, okay, let me calm down a little bit. I'm gonna catch you guys later on the next one. Have an amazing day. I love you. Okay, peace out.